This is Shelley Hughley with Southwest Farm Press, and we are at the Texas Plant Protection Association Conference. And joining me is Brian Arnell, the soil fertility specialist
Yes, ma'am.
from Oklahoma State University. There's been a lot of talk today about biologicals, and honestly, there's a lot of questions I think that producers have. I'm married to one.
Mm-hmm. The biggest conversation is, do they work?
And you would say?
Sometimes, maybe.
Okay.
That's really the best answer. Is I can't, like I told the crowd, I can't predict the wins and losses, and that bothers me as somebody making recommendations.
Right.
There's a lot of academics, including myself, they're not coming out with a lot of positives. I'm not seeing a lot of wins with products. I'm seeing products that have wins sometimes, and I guess my biggest outcome of today was that the inconsistency is challenging for me. I'm okay with a product that only works 40% of the time if I know when it works 40% of the time.
Right.
And so I've come across several products that will work once and I can't repeat it. Or it doesn't work, then all of a sudden it works for a year or two and then I can't repeat it. And so that's a challenge for me as somebody making recommendations. There is a lot of money put into research and development on these.
Right.
There is something to it. I do believe that it's going to be highly dependent upon soil. And that's your mineralogy. Was it formed from river, or is it a clay, is it a sand? A lot of them have a pH tolerance range or a pH range that they work better at. And so are we in the red lands, the black lands, the grays? Our cropping systems, how does a corn cotton rotation differ from a wheat sorghum soy, and how that impacts it? I think we're going to learn that we're probably going to have to be fairly site specific with these. We just don't know what sites specifically work.
As a producer, where do you begin?
I do precision ag a lot, and so it's the same, and that is have a goal. Don't just, I want a microbe. Don't just go that way. Have a goal. Have a plan of something you want to attack. I want to do better on nitrogen or phosphorus or plant stress, and then do your research on what products or modes of action might be out there that would help you achieve that goal. There's a ton of them on the marketplace, and at lunch today I was talking to some of the company guys, and you go to a meeting and you listen to 10 different biological groups talking about their special sauce and what they do, but if you look at it, it's about all the same thing with just a little tweak here and a little tweak there. So there's quite a bit on the market that have a lot of similarities.
You mentioned like plant stress. That's definitely something we relate to in the Southwest as far as drought stress.
Yeah. And most of the companies will admit we help mitigate small stresses, but when the stress is too much, we can't do anything.
Okay.
And the question is always, well, what's too much? And they don't really, there's not a category. How much drought stress is too much drought stress? So there's a lot of learning on the suitability. And you see that in where these products are sold. They're sold, the dominant selling region is the Corn Belt. Like we're in a region that the sales it could be the personality of the farmers, or maybe it's that our soils and climate aren't as suitable and consistent as you might see in Illinois and Ohio and Minnesota.
Okay.
Don't be afraid to try products. I don't want you going and spending a lot of money, but try them academically. Do strips, do replicated strips. It's really easy nowadays to do a couple strips in the field and have the yield monitor and send it to an extension specialist. I don't know, I might do it for you or somebody else.
Okay.
And I'll process that yield data, and then we can have a strip with, without, with, and without. Don't just do one half of the field and the other half.
Okay.
Go back and forth, so an on-off in a couple strips. And if you really have something you like, that allows us to look at it in a replicated manner and across. So if you got a quarter section and you're running a half mile, that gives me a half mile to see, okay, worked in the sand loam but didn't in the clay loam, or it didn't work anywhere.
Right.